Okay, so in reference to the ban that was previously in place, this new ban has new adjustments. We've reached a tipping point in this argument and this debate over gun control in America and assault weapons. 12 people died in the shooting in Aurora, Colorado. 13 at Fort Hood in Texas. While my opponent said that this incident happened with handguns, this person, the shooter, had military training. Tucson, Arizona, 6 died, 7 in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, and 26 in Sandy Hook. However, gun deaths and injuries in the U.S. usually occur quietly without national press coverage every day. This is probably because, according to the FBI, a mass shooting requires, by definition, a death count of 4. And if the shooter commits suicide, he is counted in the victim number. For every person who dies from a wound, 2 others are wounded, or who dies from a gunshot, 2 others are wounded, dropping the number by 1 victim, and we would surely see an increase in what's considered a mass murder. Given recent tragedies in America, it's safe to say that it's time to discuss gun policy in America and make adjustments, particularly with the use of unnecessary and harmful roles of assault weapons in society. So what exactly does the legislation of 2013 do? It bans the sale, transfer, and manufacturing and importation of semi-automatic rifles and pistols like Crystal discussed. And all guns that are capable of accepting more than 10 rounds. This includes 157 specific gun models. My opponent mentioned the grandfather guns. Well, the new ban is requiring a background check on all sales or transfers of a grandfathered assault weapon. This background check can be run through the FBI or, if the state chooses, initiated with a state agency as with the existing background check system. In an article published by the Institute of Politics at Harvard University, Jake Matthews asks why even involve the risks of these weapons. Assault rifles make up 1% of all guns in America. The majority of people that have guns are for protection, target shooting, and hunting. He also knows that these activities are the most popular uses of firearms, and none of them require assault weapons. So these sports and personal uses wouldn't be infringed. They'd have to make adjustments just like everybody else would, but they would still have their right to bear arms. It's just limiting what kind of guns you can have. Another reason to establish the federal assault weapons ban is that these mentally imbalanced people are almost impossible to identify. James Holmes was a PhD student in neuroscience without any arrest record. During college, he was a member of Phi Beta Kappa and an honor student. Is that a profile of a mass murderer? Assault weapons present a danger to Americans far greater than a black market. According to the FBI's Handbook on Gun Regulations, an AR-15, a semi-automatic rifle based loosely on the military's M16, will fire automatically merely by manipulation of the selector or removal of the disconnector. With relative ease, assault rifles can be made to mimic weapons of war. Why should this kind of weapon even be available to a citizen? Their potential for destruction is extreme. This is the same gun that jammed in the Aurora shooting. Yes, that shooting only killed 12 people, but what about the capability of someone that's carrying this gun and it not jamming? They got lucky. Thank God that it jammed. Are we gonna wait for that day to create this ban? Wait for the day that someone goes in and to a theater and shoots people and the gun doesn't jam? This gun in particular is capable of shooting 50 to 60 bullets per minute. You can only imagine the bloodshed. The black market isn't as big of an issue as it may seem in this case. In an article on MotherJones.com, they investigated the past 62 shootings over the years. They found that 80% of these shooters, the weapons that they obtained, were obtained legally. And how is it that Jones was able to buy 6,000 bullets under the radar? Just goes to show you that there are faults in the system, in the current system, we need to fix. And the Second Amendment of the Constitution does give us the right to bear arms. It gives us a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of free state, and the right to the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. okay? The right to bear arms was not to secure our personal liberties, but for state's defense. Now we have a standing army for our defense. So yes, we still have the right to bear arms, but why should people have the availability to carry the same weapons as the military?